cities, and everybody's been fine and fucking dandy with it, aren't they?
Yeah, they just sell the iron. What's wrong with that? It happens right now every day.
Yeah, they're going to be a billion citadels for a billion people, and they're going to just hand over all the resources to you. There's some currency that you contrive that's worthless to them. Brilliant.
No, we sell bonds
within their borders, and be sovereign within their borders of a country.
We sell bonds. It's financed with selling bonds.
But if you're so advanced, why do you even have money? Why haven't you just got a perfect system, like where everybody just receives?
I'm not a socialist.
What have you, if you were in an enclave and you don't let these other people in, what have you got that's of any value to them?
If I don't let who in, what?
You want to trade with the rest of the world from your billion people populated Christian citadels that they can't get in. What do you have in the way of a bond that is of any value to them if they can't get into your world?
Businesses would move to our citadels.
How can the business move there if the other people from the rest of the population can't get into your Christian god citadels?
We accept everyone except atheists.
What about Buddhists? Are they atheists?
Oh,
no,
okay,
they're not.
Okay, we're not on the same team anymore. I'm a hardcore atheist. You gotta fuck off now. We're gonna rip down your city.
That's what I'm saying. You can rip down these. What do you mean you accept everyone? You've got a limit. You said 144,000.
Yes, that's when a new city gets spawned.
Is he like Jehovah's Witness extremist? What's going on here?
I am a anarcho-capitalist Jehovah's Witness.
He's from the future, Dan. He's telling us about life in the future.
Bingo.
Oh wow. Okay, anarcho-capitalist Jehovah's Witness is how like.
How did I know he was a pamphlet thumper?
Look, he's not. Look,
you guys are so autistic.
Scott, stop treating this guy like he's half retarded. He's at least 3/4 retarded.
He's almost certainly not a Jehovah's Witness. I don't understand.
I was kidding.
He's
obviously.
So in your new world, does hemp fiber come into play?
Sure, why not?
But you're attacking him like he is actually what he's claiming to be.
I'm just having fun.
So am I.
You're being a meanie.
I'm a transhumanist Mennonite. That's what I am.
You're being mean.
Look, we're not here to discuss your gender.
Yeah, what's a Mennonite?
They're like Amish, sort of.
But they can use some less electricity.
You're gonna have to describe Amish to her. I don't think she knows what that is.
They are extremely Christian and they refuse to use modern technology.
Yes.
Are there Amish people in Australia?
No, I don't think so. We don't have any technology here anyway. We're all Amish.
But these citadels can also form a global military alliance that transcends borders.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
You are wrong, Trouble. There are a couple of Amish families in Australia.
2?
A couple.
Literally, like 3.
And they're thriving, no doubt.
They're inbreeding, no doubt.
Oh, they're in Tasmania. Makes sense.
Are you going to mobilise an army in all these disparate citadels?
We'll think of something.
Your future sucks, man.
Well, you have floating.
What sucks about it? What's your main problem?
Everything. Where do you want me to start?
I'm anti-New World Order. I have a UBI and no landlords. Affordable housing. Citizens arrest. Direct democracy.
Whoa.
No legislature.
I gotta. Well, hold up. I am pro UBI, but I think that if you're gonna do UBI, you might as well go with a New World Order because it's easier to manage if you centralize everything through whatever systems. You know what I mean? Like, Why would
No,
you be against
that's
the New
not
World
true.
Order? The real question is who's in charge of the New World Order, right? Because like shitty person is in charge or shitty rules get applied, it sucks for everybody. Fantastic rules get applied, it's great for everybody.
How about
And
this?
I think that we want to be as great for as many people as possible. So what we should be doing is making the New World Order great again.
Do you think
That's kind of what Scott was saying earlier.
Do you think our current
Fucking
government?
crazy, dude.
Do you think our current government is good at balancing a budget?
No.
Yes.
So a New World Order would be
Is it
far, far worse.
trustworthy?
Not
So
because
what
the New World Order
technology-
wouldn't be run by people. It's clearly going to be run by AI that's superior at budget balancing. Clearly.
Wow, so now we want a world government ran by AI. This is getting better by the minute.
Yes!
Grab my popcorn, guys. Grab my popcorn. Hold on.
Absolutely.
You guys
What
aren't conspiracy theory. You guys are nut jobs.
What
You
technology
guys
guys
are on
really
Pete Shea. Pete Shea,
that we
Pete
don't
Shea
have
level.
now?
There's a lot
Did
of
you hear that one?
fascists in this chat.
Yes. This is asking what technology
Not a
does
fascist.
your city have?
What are you
that
talking
we
about?
won't-
The fascists would want people to work. I want everybody to like not have jobs anymore and stay at home while robots do everything for them. A fascist.
You
would
want a
that. What are you talking about?
totalitarian global government? How is that not fascist?
No, that's not totalitarian at all.
The AI runs everything. There's
You
no
don't think
there's
AI
no way to
is
escape.
gonna be-
You can't escape it.
Exactly.
You're gonna have to
AI is
choose-
going to be
choose that.
totalitarian.
Look, you can always just like I don't know, download into a different reality or jump into one of the many futuristic, humane suicide booths. I think.
Oh
I think we can
wow!
work this out.
Please excuse that.
It's humane. It's humane, though. It's humane, guys. It's
Look, I specified it's a humane suicide booth. Why are you guys on my nuts about it? Jeez.
You're really
Can
selling
you see
this.
into the booth? Can you
I
see
mean-
into the booth? Is it glass? Is it booth? Is it booth glass? Can you see into it?
Well, of course.
Oh Jesus!
What?
No, oh, man.
No, because we don't
Pierce
want. Look, we
Job
don't want everybody committing suicide. So we make sure that you see them doing it, so that it's a deterrent. It's a balancing act, really.
Is this on the dark web or something? What are you talking about?
This is some Chad. This is some Chad GTP4 shit.
This reminds me of like
Look,
What
I have
about
been collaborating with the latest AI to sculpt the future, and it's got some great ideas. I gotta say.
remember about 30
I'm going
years
with
ago,
Zan.
Faces of
I'm
Death.
going with
Y'all
Zan.
remember those movies? Horrible movies.
Yeah, it's not generative yet.
Yeah,
I
it's
do
not
remember those
generative,
movies.
but it's smart enough that when I asked it specifically what we should do in the future about Rob Noxious, they said anything noxious is probably not good for you.
Bingo.
Destroy.
Yeah, I'm definitely.
I was convinced,
Oh,
man.
nice.
I'm on board now.
I'm going with
Yeah.
Zan's future. Zan's future will
Yeah.
realise that religion is
Let's go.
redundant.
Let's go with Zan's future. Yay! We're all gonna drink Molson fucking Canadians and watch the Montreal Canadiens.
Fuck Molson, why would you do that? That's like the beer that we sell to tourists who want to feel Canadian while they're visiting. It's garbage beer.
It sounds like the
We'll catch
state
the
is your
northern-
god.
Northern Pike, or we go ice fishing in June.
Is the state your god?
Is the stick?
No.
No. No, it doesn't exist. Stop being silly.
But
You
it
can't-
takes
you
the
don't
place
know
of
that.
it. It takes the place of your atheism. You have to worship something or hold something to that high regard.
Exactly.
Yeah,
They don't understand
Me.
that. They
The,
don't
the
understand that.
creator, the creator of all order is the state.
Yeah, me. I have ordered my reality based on my experience.
Don't you think that's egotistical?
It's the best I have. It's the best you have too. So I don't know why we're arguing about it.
This isn't the best we have. This is the best we've been able to
Oh,
achieve.
really? You have better than your own experience. And
my
by
brain.
the way, I'm philosophically including your experience as also your interaction with the experiences of the past. So if you have better than that, then I mean, be all my guest, but I don't think you do.
My imagination.
So there should be no faith?
Well, Yeah, of course not. Faith is not.
Your imagination. That's a bit egotistical, isn't it?
Right? Listen to this guy calling me egotistical and then coming in here with his fucking imagination is reality.
A single dream is more powerful than 1,000
I'm just trying to stumble my way. I'm just trying to stumble my way through my turgid existence, relying on fucking facts and figures and fucking research and nonsense. How am I going to get by? I don't know.
But it was
those
cool,
guys
though.
the guy who solved all those facts and figures used philosophy too before he fucking figured all that shit out.
Were you in here earlier, Zant, when he was explaining all the details about an hour and a half ago?
No, I wasn't. I'm just coming in and being all rambunctious because I was out.
Oh, it was pretty good.
Yeah, the spreadsheet.
Thank you.
The lot
Thank
going.
you. I fired it off pretty quick too, so I'm sure you might not have absorbed it all.
Well, what do you think about flat earthers? Like, what do you do with them?
I like to pretend I'm a flat earther just to troll other people.
But what are you going to do in this new world when you have them on the corners preaching and stuff?
There's the First Amendment, so...
But there's not a freedom of not believing? Like you can't be an atheist?
An amendment to what exactly in your New World Order? What are you amending?
The
to
United
the
States
First
Bill of
Amendment?
Rights. we keep the Bill of Rights.
New World Order. What does your New World
do you
Order
do?
sound like America? You do know that there's other countries around the world, and
So you're starting afresh, but you decide to keep something called an amendment. That's beautiful.
In the Constitution, there's articles and amendments.
I know. Yeah, you don't get it. You don't get the irony, do you?
No.
No, of course you don't.
but what technology does it have that we don't have now? Are we going to have flying boats?
Oh yeah.
So it has
Like-
three-dimensional infrastructure, three-dimensional road infrastructure. So you could
Great. I'm all for that. Fuck the flying boats. I want levitating rivers for regular boats.
No levitating rivers, but there are
You're fucking old school then. Fuck that. If you can't levitate me a river for my regular ass boat, then we ain't talking.
there are man-made rivers in the sky on the rooftop.
On a rooftop.
Ooh.
Yeah, so we have trees and forests on the roof of the skyscrapers.
Well, that sounds like the
Are
nicest
these-
place to live. That sounds like the
Are these-
nicest place to live in the city. So who lives at the bottom then?
Does
The
that mean
poor.
you don't have hurricanes ever? You don't have bad weather? No rain?
Are these electromagnetic rivers?
Yeah, there would be. Yeah, why?
We got trees on top of the building.
Prostitute spree.
How are we
So
going to
who
stay
lives
on top of the building?
Who lives in
Served
the-
raise is a very good
Cables.
point. How are you compensating your prostitutes so I don't have to?
We banned prostitution when we turned to Christianity.
See, now you've lost me again. You're back. No, this is no
over.
good. We can't.
Off
No
the
fucking
table.
levitating rivers and no free prostitutes. You have lost me, good
Free
sir.
prostitutes.
Try again.
Free prostitution. No such thing exists.
Back
Have you
to
talked-
the drawing board, dude.
Yeah.
You're not going to.
About-
Yeah, how does one find gratification in this place?
We haven't talked about the
Self-gratification or
power.
what?
But I don't want Jesus.
What about the power support? I mean, the supply. How are we getting power to these?
Mostly
Alright.
solar. Ideally, mostly solar. Solar's actually getting better and better and cheaper.
I live in part of the world where there's no sunlight hardly ever. What are we going to do?
Move here.
Wind. Think of something else.
I can't
Sun.
move because I'm mining all the metals that you need for your beautiful
Moonlight.
city.
Something
Australia,
else.
she gets
Think of
plenty of
something else.
sunlight. Don't listen to her.
the
I don't even
moonlight.
believe this guy. He's just throwing out these flippant terms like think of something else, but look how quickly he shot down my levitating rivers. How can we trust this guy to deliver on innovation?
There is a
We still haven't had
zeppelin.
we still haven't had my question answered. It's a 3D city, so the bits at the top have got nice views, and they're in all the green bits, and the bits at the bottom of the city aren't. So who gets to decide who lives where?
The richer people would live at the top, but we tax
What do
the
you mean
sunlight.
richer?
We
Who's
tax.
the richer?
We
Doesn't
tax
everyone
windows.
get paid doesn't everybody get paid the same in your utopia?
No, I'm not a socialist.
Can you
It sounds
you
like
write this
medieval
down?
England.
Right.
What
Write
are
this
you?
down.
Are you a capitalist utopian? Like, are you sure you understand these terms? What's going on here?
I'm a mutualist.
Paper, scissors, rock.
I'm just boarding up my windows so I don't have to pay for them.
All right. So, where do you stand on banks? Do we have banks in your future?
Yeah, but I don't
say
believe
crypto.
in like speculative markets. That's stupid. I mean, they would probably
Yeah,
exist,
but
I
Jesus
wouldn't.
didn't believe in banks at all, man. He was flipping over the moneylenders' tables, and they were pretty primitive. So, I mean, why are you for banks? Like, you're fucking anti-Jesus. Why are you anti-Jesus?
Well, we have to go into debt
Render
to
under
build the city.
Caesar. What's Caesar?
I'm just saying, like, you're saying that we're gonna live in this fucking Christian utopia, but, like, you're anti-Jesus and you're against prostitutes, and I'm pretty sure that he was against banks and hung out with prostitutes, so you seem kind of like a fucking fake Christian trying to grift people with promises that you can't fulfill. I don't know. I'm just
No,
guessing.
Zant, he's a hippo Christian.
You haven't asked him
what's
the
that?
question. Where is
It's
Gintopia
hypocrite plus
going to be?
Christian.
Is Gintopia?
Okay, yeah, I like that.
I heard about
Yeah,
Zootopia.
does Gymtopia, is that like one of the states of your fucking crazy theocracy
It
nightmare?
could be. It
I
could
already
be.
told him he was copying Gintopia.
Okay, I gotcha.
You've
We
got
can
rich
form-
and you've got poor. You have a poverty line in your citadel.
Well, you just take the elevator. The rooftop is open to the public.
Poverty line.
You just
But
take an
Zant,
elevator
he's
up to the roof. What are you talking about?
So you're
He's
above the
not gonna
poverty
kill
line.
the. He's not going to kill the Boy Scouts.
Everyone lives
leaders.
above the poverty line. The poverty line will be underground.
Oh, I see.
Okay, so yeah, can we
Uh-oh.
have that? Can we? So I was thinking, like, if we make the poverty line a physical line, then we'll know where to put people. And on top of that, if we switch to that kind of thinking, then we can give everybody higher education by building taller buildings.
I grew up on the other side of the tracks.
That's brilliant.
I thought so.
Could
We
we have-
could add
we have
marijuana to the
slip-
classroom.
Hey,
We
what
add
stops the
zip
rich?
lines
What
to
stops
each.
an increasingly smaller minority of people getting filthy rich, and the rest of the people getting poorer and poorer and poorer in your citadel?
So we
What
have
are
we have
talking
no
about?
landlords.
Whoa. Why are we talking about being filthy rich now? Why are we doing that?
Who's got filthy rich people?
I
in
want
the
to be
citadel?
clean rich. Look, I want to be the kind of rich person that can afford a bar of soap. What are you talking about, you cunt?
Hey, could we switch every 7 years to where the rich become the poor and the poor become the
And
rich?
Zant's Scottish accent.
I was gonna bring back the Jubilee, so there's a complete debt reset every 40 or 50
That's
years. I think it is.
perfect. Good, because I'm horrible with money. Thank you.
Oh my god, so I can be totally irresponsible as I want, knowing that it's all going to work out in the end.
Exactly.
Well,
Waiting for
death
that.
does that
It is a
anyway.
Christian citadel. It is a Christian citadel, after all.
So I can collapse the economy just by getting myself into that amount of debt, and it's okay.
Yeah, it could reset.
Does it also wipe away any like charges, criminal charges? You get to start over again.
I don't know about that one. I think it was only financial debts in the Bible.
Oh, gotcha.
The
I forgot about the
Vatican
biblical
actually, the most holy prayer in Christianity mentioned the forgiveness of debts, and the Vatican changed it.
Speaking of which, did you hear the report about the Catholic Church in
Yes.
Baltimore?
Yes, it's horrible. How many accounts? Like 600 or something? Oh yeah, never mind. He can't hear me.
600
Isn't the
what?
Vatican-
What'd they do? What'd they do?
They molested over
Molestation.
600 children in the course of 60 years?
Allegedly?
Wow.
No, not allegedly. These are the ones that
Well,
they've
that's-
demonstrated happened.
What do
But-
you mean demonstrated? They reenacted this shit? What are you talking
Yes,
about?
they did it just for you to watch, Curve. Turn on your TV,
I
you
ain't
can watch.
watching that shit.
Imagine if those people were running a citadel. Ooh.
They would be in the high rises.
Yeah, I bet they fucking would. And they'd be taking
Looking
frequent surreptitious trips to the low rises, wouldn't they?
I like that. The half-time swap sides, you know, the rich become poor and the poor become rich. I thought that was good every 6 years.
Yeah, that would be the way to do it.
Yeah, we can work that in.
Yeah.
So there's
Yeah, because I remember. I mean, imagine this: looking at somebody that's treating
Are
you
you
like
going to
dirt and be
continue
like,
supporting
"Hey,
this?
You can be like, look, I'm gonna remember you in 7 years. You remember the way you're treating me now. When you're in my place, you just wait.
So there's profit sharing of corporations. So like shareholders get massively reduced cash flow and power. And then there's also no landlords. And then there's also a UBI. So like where are the rich going to get the money? Where's the cash flow going to come from for all the rich?
Look, cash flow is just a byproduct of the value that's added to society, and that will be offset entirely by the value added by automation, and so cash flow in general will be redundant. Clearly, you absolute knucklehead.
Isn't a UBI an infection?
UTI.
That's a UTI.
Yeah. So what you're saying is there will be rich people, but I'm not going to admit there's any construct where you can get rich.
It will be harder to get rich. You can't just like be a landlord of 5 properties.
You can get rich, though. That's the point, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, don't tell Lewis that.
You can
own properties.
You can create an infrastructure where you can have advantage and power over someone else by having more money than them.
Not necessarily power, but maybe influence.
Right. Okay. And in this world, the nuance between influence and power is so small, it's negligible. Yeah.
No, because power is political, and it's force.
Right. Okay.
Influence is persuasion. Sometimes using money. Oftentimes using money.
Beautiful, man. It's so well thought. It's seamless. I'm taken.
Oh well, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
I might have to become a Christian so I can get in.
We take agnostic too. Agnostic's okay.
Do we still eat sheep, or are we on to crickets?
Well, I'm thinking that, like, you are... Like, it sounds to me like you are atheist. Am I correct?
Atheist, yes.
Are you saying atheist or atheist?
No. I'm saying he is a theist. And I am atheist. And so I figure I should get into...
You're an atheist. He's a theist. Come on.
No, he is a theist and I am atheist. I think that it's close enough.
An atheist. Atheist.
Stop saying it. You're saying it wrong. I am atheist. He is a theist.
Let's argue what the definition of theist.
Hey, yo,
look, I am. Look,
sports
would appreciate me taking this chat into the realms of Steve McCurry.
Yeah, we can hear you talking. Yeah, we hear you.
What's the score of the game, Waz?
Apparently not. Last I saw, we were 2 runs up.
Nice.
Is Waz talking?
He is. His mic is kind of low, though.
Let me just see if it's mine. I'll reconnect.
He wanted to know if there's any sports in the future.
Yep, we would actually invent new sports.
4-0, Waz.
Can you say something really quickly? Waz, can you say something really quickly in Australian?
I am saying.
I can hear you now. I can hear you now, but you are pretty
quiet. It's alright, I've got to
okay.
drop out anyway. I've got to go 2-hour drive.
I'll just turn you up. I'll turn you up. You're really quiet right now, but I'll turn you up. There you go.
4-0.
That's what I was saying.
There you go. 4-zip. Sweet.
Now you're talking loud.
Tell us more about these new sports.
So we have what we call a bounty system for creativity. So we put out a bounty saying we want a new sport. It's going to be like a mixture of football and tennis. I don't know what the hell, something like that. And then American football, which is better.
Not one that'll keep you up at night or make you sick.
Aussie rules football is way better than American. Go for that one.
If somebody catches the flu in Jesus' world, are they sick? Like 666 sick? Or like how's that gonna work?
Yes, they are.
It's the Huey Lewis League.
So if you fulfill a bounty for inventing a new sport, you would get a reward, and we could have like first, second, and third too. Why not? So first place would be like $150,000 or whatever it is. Second place, 75. Third place, 25, something like that. And
sorry.
And we just let the populace brainstorm for like 3 months or 6 months or something, and the best submission wins.
What do you do with old people? Is there sport for old people?
Yeah.
Called bridge.
Yeah. Bingo.
Or Angelo Chase chess.
Sorry, let's get this clear. Do you have old people?
Well, aging was recently cured by David Sinclair, so maybe not.
Do you make your own children, or are they done in a laboratory? Do people still have sex, or have you given that away and it's just straight up laboratory stuff now?
Of course there's sex, yeah.
Why?
Do you have people? Do people
Yeah,
die?
but is it fun sex or is it boring missionary fucking Christian sex?
It would be really good sex.
Okay, now you're gonna have to describe this in detail so I know that you're evaluating it improperly.
Please don't give me
What?
virgin.
It would
Well, there'd
be
be no kink shaming
slow,
in the future.
smooth, and hot.
Alright, so you're already off to a fucking boring start. What happens if you want it like rough,
come out your spreadsheet.
fast, and with a sort of an icy stare when you're finished?
That's just barbaric. That's barbaric.
Only if you're not into it, though.
You've had sex with icy stairs. That's
I had to come up with something to counteract hot.
In this Christian society, is there still going to be frequent sex with children?
No, that's illegal.
No. Oh.
So it's going to be a
That's
less
unChrist-like.
Christian society than today.
The age of
Are you
consent
not
is actually
Christian-like?
the age of consent is 20 for sex.
Damn.
So the priests are only allowed to finger bang people after they hit 20.
Yes.
What do you do with all the horny teenagers?
There's a clause for teenagers having sex.
Are they going to do what they're told? Have you not met teenagers?
Love that one. Are you still going to have
goodness.
Are you going to have still have margarine in this New World Order?
Margarine?
Margarine, you know, like butter substitutes.
Yeah, of course. We're gonna use the traditional food system. So grocery stores, frozen food.
You lied. You said
All
you were going
that
to tax the meat.
Yeah, well, the meat and dairy would be more expensive.
Right, so you're going to tax the butter.
It still exists.
Could people still have like barbecues, those sort of things?
Well, if you're indoors, you would need to use like probably an electric barbecue. But yeah.
Electric barbecue. And will you still have Thursday?
I was actually made a 6-day calendar week. So I got rid of Monday.
6 days.
Yeah, 6 days. So get this. You have 12 you have 12 months, 5 weeks per month, 6 days per week. So you have 12 30-day months. That's 360, and then you just put 1 week at the end. 5 days, 365. So then the calendar never changes. Every single month is 30 days with 5 6-day weeks.
Except for the one that's 5 days, the end of it.
But everyone is on vacation during that last week. The whole city.
Whole city's on. How can the whole city be on vacation?
Well,
Who's gonna
you know,
run, like,
almost
toilet
everyone.
water company.
Almost everyone's gonna have a equal year. Then it's not not everyone though.
What jobs still exist if everything's like...
So one of the main goals is actually to transition to a 2-day work week. So as jobs continue to be automated away and as society gets
But
more...
I thought that all the Christians were against transitioning these days. There's been a lot of things in the news about it.
This is a good transition. It's a very progressive transition.
Okay, so what isn't a progressive transition?
Gender, mental illness.
But hang on a
you saying
second, how do I live on 2 days a week wage? That's not enough.
Because we have affordable housing, we have UBI, we have 0% income tax, 0% payroll tax, and profit sharing of corporations.
Oh, it's all controlled, isn't it? Choices.
What do you mean? It's not controlled at all. It's free enterprise. So you choose where you work. You choose. You negotiate a wage like normal. The only thing that's
How
really
do you negotiate a wage? How do you negotiate a wage then?
during the interview process. That's all the same.
Why would someone pay you? Why would someone pay you more or less than anybody else to do a job?
You negotiate a wage now.
You might be interested in this
normal
book
society.
that just came out on work.
Like less is changing than you think.
I don't think I've seen anyone in a factory on the construction belt, go, you know what? I'm worth $10 more than the chick 2 spots in front of me because I'm packing leg thighs and she's only doing strips.
If it's UBI, why would I bother doing a really, really shit awful job if I can do another job?
Well, the goal is to give people opportunity to not be stuck financially in bad situations. It's not that much though. It's an.
If there's UBI, who's going to want to shovel shit when they could shovel leaves instead?
Right. Well, then the shit shoveler is going to get paid more if they can't find people.
Instead of me doing physical labor, could I just go off my behavior? So if I cross the road at the right places, I get $20.
No.
And if I pick up the rubbish and so like, why not?
Maybe picking up rubbish, but that's a job. So the UBI is $360 a month right now. It can be adjusted with the direct democracy in the future, but right now
That's
it's
not enough.
$360.
I need more.
So where do you stand? Where do you stand on the? Hold on. Where do you stand on the policies of course, the best previous Democratic candidate, Mr. Andrew Yang?
I'm a big fan, actually. He's an inspiration of mine.
Oh, Andrew is a smart guy. I would have voted for Andrew Yang.
Oh yeah, I made a lot of Yang Gang memes actually. You can see my YouTube channel too.
I am definitely Yang Gang. I still have the blue hat in my Twitter. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was a purple hat. Do you know who the purple hats are?
Yeah, morons that joined the Yang Gang. No wonder I don't agree with you on 50% of what you're saying.
I was a pink hat. I would troll people.
Yep.
The pink hats were like the Republicans who were Yang Gang.
This new world sounds smashing, I have to say.
Oh, well, thank you.
I'm one of the left-leaning people who's Yang Gang. I mean, are you going to support the Forward Party? Are you going to try to fix the voting system and democracy? Try to save America from the very erosion of the fabric that is being ripped apart by the ideology that's been established by the founders, wound out of control? Are you gonna do that?
I like Marianne. Marianne's pretty sweet.
Honestly, but this is the part where I think I'd be like, dude, you and I are a little too drunk for this. Maybe we should, not.
I'm not really.
Liar.
That sounds like a you problem.
No, I've got a smile. I have a
sounds
slight
like a
buzz.
who problem, bitch.
However,
I mean,
it's more of the social high of being in a large group of people joking around for like 6 hours. Like that sort of.
I know.
That's
I'm just busting your balls.
No, hi. Okay, hi. I am definitely that.
Told you.
Yeah, that is true.
Not
VD has got it
much as normal, though, Sam.
That is pretty normal, yeah.
So who wants my YouTube?
Not overly, but.
So what happens if you're in your city? If you have children and one of them decides they don't believe in God, what happens to them?
We'll probably let that slide.
You will have atheists.
Yeah, the whole immigration thing. It depends on how much demand we have. So if we want to have like a lot of people waiting at the gates to get in, then we can be more selective. But like if it's not too popular, we would be more accepting. But you have to remember there's going to be like 2,000 of these cities. So there's going to be there's going to be like a trans city. There's going to be a heroin addict city. There's going to be like there's going to be
where all the guys Hold on, is the Trans City where all the guys go to become Disney princesses? Like, what's going on there?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, it'd get kind of weird. I don't know if I'd like. I don't think I would vacation there.
We can have an atheist city then, can we?
Yes, of course. Yeah.
No, in the special new technological world, we'll just go right back to segregation. It'll be fucking awesome. Woo!
I vote no.
Is segregation a bad thing?
And only 144,000 people at a time. Am I right?
So what happens over a period of time when more and more of these cities become atheist cities? What would you do then?
I mean, what am I supposed to do? Like,
plagues?
Use violence to force people to convert? What do you?
Yeah, kill the first one of Egypt. You know.
Look, I understand your conundrum, but can you have a theist city, and I'll have atheist city?
Yeah, of course.
It's an atheist city, not atheist city. Jeez.
Stop splitting hairs, VD.
It's hard to understand what you're saying.
See, by not having a one-world government, by having thousands of governments, you can have thousands of different societies that are all independent and sovereign, and have their own cultures, have their own histories, have their own local government where you could actually go out and like have a beer with the executive of your city.
Look, listen, traveling through time.
No shit.
Hold on.
Wait.
I gotta have a little.
You could call them countries, couldn't you? You could call them countries.
They are.
It's a good point, Pazza.
Well, they're
That's
cities.
a good point. I gotta go back to the 90s and rap serious with my man VD here for a second and explain the fact that, like, the atheists, right? They are the servants of the father of the lie, master of deception. And so, as such, our language cannot be clear and unambiguous, so stop correcting me, you cunt. I'm just saying.
No, you gotta speak clearly.
Alright.
Who wants a CGI video of the city? Just speak up.
Man, I was hoping that was going to be like, ooh, it's coconut shrimp. And then I was going to say, me. But, oh well. Wrong offer.
Is that a yes or no?
Have you got a city plan?
Yes, I have all of the engineering schematics.
No.
Yeah. It's modular, so each city is made out of like 8,000 pieces. So there's 8,000 skyscrapers that are all connected to themselves.
Do you have to forge things together to get different materials for the city?
No, it's trusses, so it's bolting. So there's tons of there's trusses everywhere. All kinds of trusses.
Liz trusses?
No.
Wasn't she like prime minister for a week?
Oh, her. Okay, yeah. No, she's not in the city.
So how many levels in the city then?
That's up to you. Well, it's up to the local government. But as you build,
live there.
What's up?
There's an upper limit to the number of people who live there, but you can have as many levels as you want.
Well, you could go over 144,000. That's just like my personal preference for city size. So here's the thing. As you increase city size, your traffic congestion increases exponentially. Because not only do you have more people, but you're also farther away from your destination. So it's x squared, not x. So by limiting the city size to 144,000, you have extremely low traffic and extremely short commutes. Like you could ride a bicycle anywhere in the city in under 5 minutes.
If it's a 3D city, surely it's X cubed, isn't it?
They're all hexagons.
How do you move to the city next to you if you fall in love with someone but they're already full?
You would have to like switch apartments.
So you have to talk someone into moving out to your part of the world so that you can move into theirs.
We could probably make an exception. It doesn't have to be like it doesn't have to be at exactly 144K. It's just a guideline.
What about technology-wise, as in, do we have voice-to-skull tech yet? Are we able to communicate with each other without speaking? Can the powers that be come into our heads and give us messages? Have we got extra vision because we're hooked up to the computer thingy?
You'll have to ask Elon Musk about that with his Neuralink.
Matrix. His Neuralink isn't going anywhere, dude. It's a fraud.
I thought they had some update recently.
No. It's a fraud.
How'd you get around your cities using a Hyperloop?
So I originally had something like that, and it just there was no reason because you don't really have to go that far.
Efficient, dumb.
There are buses. There's buses that are actually suspended from the ceiling, and they drive along the ceiling.
Ceiling?
So you attach.
Got a firmament.
You would no. There's a rooftop to the roads. The roads have a roof, and then the buses get attached to the steel roof, and then you get on the bus and it drives around the city. There's also golf carts, forklifts, e-bikes, scooters, just jogging, stuff like that.
Scooter. And how fast do these buses go?
Probably like 40, 45 miles an hour. I don't know kilometers what that is. 60?
60.
Right, I do miles an hour. So what's the quick? How do you get around the city quickly then?
Because it's so compact. It's extremely dense. It's about 4 times denser than Manhattan. 3 to 4 times denser than Manhattan.
God, does that mean we have no backyards? We have no backyard for our
Correct,
kid to play in?
No backyard, no front yard.
Oh, fuck.
What does your city What does your city offer that wall thing in the building in the Middle East not offer?
Here, I'll send you the video and you can tell me.
Line right there.
I think I sent you the video already.
So children of the future won't know what gardens and that are, really.
So outside of the city, it goes directly to like old growth forest, and that's open to the public.
They're kids, they can't get out of the city on their own.
Well, just make a family trip out of it.
They don't know milk comes from a cow, so I suppose it's no different.
You can do a field trip. But yeah, it will be urban. The idea is to get away from the personal automobile. That's another reason that we can have a 2-day work week is you don't need a car. So you're saving, $1,000 a month for between gas, insurance, and the car payments.
So you have no freedom of movement anymore.
No, you can ride your bike anywhere in the city in under 5 minutes.
I can't get out to the next town and go for a drive out to see whatever it was, the animals that you said exist. I don't have a car anymore.
There's a parking lot on the first floor that has traditional cars, and it attaches to a traditional road. So you just go down to the first floor, and it's like just a field of cars waiting to be taken somewhere.
But I'm not safe out there. That's where all the outer ponders live that don't come into the cities. Just gotta watch
I mean, you can't have it all.
Well, I don't want to be locked up in a city then.
It'll be pretty cool.
I guess I'm an outsider then.
So right now, interior decoration is limited by the most extreme weather conditions, right? You can only decorate and use materials and use construction based on the most extreme weather conditions. But in this city, you have all of these different colored lights you can use, all of these different materials you can use. You can.
What do I use the colored lights for, though? Because I feel like that's something that we've had at raves for a long time.
It would be inside the city, the interior, like the road. I'm saying, would be.
I like that you want me to waste money on.
We could have raves in the streets. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't like the flashing that much, but so there's actually an artistic council that is hired by the executive council, and one of their jobs is to create architectural themed zoning for the inside of the city. So one part of the town could have like a certain color scheme, a certain mood, a certain historical era, and then everyone in that part of the city like makes that neighborhood that vibe. So, like one of my examples was having a city that's Warhammer 40k themed, and each different neighborhood is all the different races of Warhammer 40k.
That sounds childish. What's
Yay!
Warhammer 40k?
You think that's gay?
Yeah.
What do you think would be better? Historical eras? I think that was another one I came up with.
Swinging your Warhammer around is totally not gay.
Never mind.
So all these green areas on the surface with the lovely bits, has everyone got access to all of it?
Yes, in the Constitution it says that the rooftop has to be accessible to the public.
Don't the rich get a chance to influence other people not to be in certain parts, as you put it?
No, the rich will have windows, but they have to pay taxes on their windows.
Right. And would the taxes make it prohibitive to have windows? In other words, is the taxes so high on having windows that they can't afford to have windows?
I'm not sure with like the tax rate on the windows. It has to see like how it plays out with supply and demand and stuff like that.
But clearly, if it's affordable, they'll have windows. If it's overtaxed, then nobody will have windows.
Right.
You're gonna have a world where some people have influenced themselves to have windows. Are you sure these people won't initially settle down to an idea that they can have a bit of? They look out their window that they want to make sure they can control what they see out the window.
No, the government is in control of the rooftop. The artistic council of the government.
So what do the people do all day? They've only got work 8 days a week. They're stuck in a multi-story building with no garden, no yard, and they need money to go anywhere.
They go out to the restaurant. They're going to have a lot of spending money. Everyone will have a lot of disposable income.
Why? How?
For all of the reasons I told you. Do you want me to repeat them?
He's gonna talk to Ubi. Ubi's gonna hook you up.
You got a 25-acre amusement park, yeah?
Yeah, in that version, every city is different.
Is that in that? So if it's 25-acre park, how's that going to pan out for 141,000 people doing hardly any work? How busy it's going to be in there?
Yeah, we might have to build a bigger park, but you can do
And
that.
I got to do that every.
I have to.
And I got to do that every week.
It's just always there, the amusement park.
Yeah, and there's always a vast majority of your population not doing anything who might want to go there. The toilet queues are going to be enormous, aren't they?
Yeah, there's in a later video there's also a water park that is shown, and I think that's more than 25 acres. That might be like 50 acres. So all that's within walking distance of the city.
I mean, it all sounds good if you're young, but most of the population's not. So what do you got for the rest of us?
Well, aging was cured by David Sinclair. So you can be like 25 forever.
Hasn't been cured
forever. How are you going to maintain a population of 144,000 if nobody dies? But unless you have lots of fucking going on.
Oh,
well, why would we want to have babies? We don't have to have babies and ruin our bodies now. We can just have them in a machine incubator, can't we? Why are you making women get pregnant? They could die in childbirth.
If you decide,
why would you be having sex anymore? Seriously.
Why would you not have sex?
You can't even point to one person who's had their age cured yet. You're lying.
I'm telling you the future. I'm traveling through time.
So in the future, nobody dies, but everyone can procreate. So what are you going to do about the ever-increasing population?
When you get your age extending serum, you also need to get a vasectomy. It's mandatory.
There you go. No kids.
Oh.
There'll never be children on Earth again. Well done. Because you'll just make new ones, and no one will ever want to be a kid again. No one will ever.
Did anybody hear?
age themselves to like
Sorry.
6. They'll always never want to go before 18 or 16. Because if you
Did
down age,
anybody listen?
Who's
Ever
gonna
listen to
look
the Magic Tavern,
Yes,
No.
It was-
I have.
a podcast?
That's great. That stupid Burger King led to so many shenanigans.
So this is what this reminds me of in a weird way, where we're sitting around. I guess only Zant will understand, as per usual. But like,
Yeah, you guys just go
Um,
get your own hotel room, eh?
fine, fuck.
Jeez.
I know. Like, I was gonna tell you a really adorable story, and then you made it
Right. Tell
ugly
us the
by
story.
insisting Zant get, extra large condoms and meet me somewhere.
Story.
No, if this story's only for Zant, you two should go to your own room.
Oh, no,
That's
it
what you
was
said.
for everybody. It was PG, but then I think, yeah. Anyway,
Whatever.
Went off the rails pretty quick.
yeah, whatever. Indeed.
I'm very controversial.
Are you?
Yeah, we just agreed on that. We could fight about it.
All right.
I love to
Cute
fight.
story.
Let's fight. Woo! What do you want to fight about today?
I just want to hear the cute story.
Well, no, it was just
Yeah.
about the fucking Magic Tavern and how like this futuristic pitch of the world according to the time traveler is similar to just listening to futuristic fucking craziness, but in a really fun podcasty way. They're not flipping up. I do maybe even believe that they wrote this shit down. I think this is. I am proud to be an American and also a part of this experience of the pitch. Fucking
Aw,
weird,
thank
but
you.
it's fun. You're welcome. You are fucking welcome.
All I have to say is that, as interesting as it might be, he would never cut it in the magical world of Foon. And that is all.
I know, but it's so rare that I make if only Urethra was here, he also understands the random Boondocks references, but otherwise I'm just bereft in a world of nobody knows what the fuck I'm talking about ever.
You talking about the cartoon Boondocks?
I'm actually
Yeah.
shockingly
Oh, I-
surprised that there is no one else nerdy enough to understand the reference in the room right now. I think that these people are closet hello from Magical Tavern listeners. They must be. At least a few of them.
Chunt, y'all know that
Not at all.
motherfucker is the Badger King. Don't start with me.
I've never heard of
I guess
that,
nobody
actually.
wants to start. Well, we can fight about anything else.
BD, just don't be chunt.
Well, Chunt is a powerful character, but he also is almost completely compassionless and has he's a bad ruler. He's also a badger.
That's why I'm telling
Which
BD
I
not
think
to
I
be
mentioned
chunt.
40 times by this point.
Don't be chunt.
I don't understand this Canadian gibberish you're talking, eh?
It's not
American
Canadian.
gibberish.
That's so fucking great. It's an American podcast. Ooh, yeah.
Such a random reference that you pulled up. It's very obscure. I am surprised.
But it's so fitting, is it not? Well, you weren't really here for the whole thing, but it was pretty beautiful. It reminds me almost of what they taught me when I was 7 and I was at a Mormon church, and they were like, well, this planet is for black people, this planet is for whitey. It was just, it's that. It's is this fucking actually happening? I'm not really sure.
In this
Yes.
city, you've got apartments. You quote $300 a month for a 1,100 square foot 2-bedroom apartment, and $400 for a 3-bedroom. Is there a 4-bedroom and 5-bedroom apartments?
Yes. There is pretty much an infinite amount of arrangements. So those
And
hexagons,
some of them have got balconies, haven't they?
yes, there's actually one that's an 8-bedroom palace with a ballroom inside of it.
It's got balconies and everything on it, yeah?
It would have windows too when you're that rich. But
Yeah.
that's
And those balconies, can everybody use those balconies?
no, those are private. There's probably some that are public.
So you've got areas in your city where only the rich can go then, after all.
Well, it's their apartment.
Are you allowed to film in public?
Like, how do you
Can we
go?
audit
How would
these
you
people?
use someone else's private balcony at their
Why would
apartment?
you have private balconies?
Because it's their
It's not a
apartment.
private balcony if you can see it from the public streets.
True. Good point.
Well, now that I'm allowed to live to 150, or able to, I've had 78 children. Is there a problem with that at all?
Yeah, a lot of them are
There's
Johnny
child
B's.
taxes. So the more children you have, the more child tax you pay. And then if you fail to pay your taxes, you get kicked out of the city. And if
You just told me I have enough money to live for it, like, and do all sorts of things, and now I'm restricted.
Oh, that's
So
been restricted
there's
up.
child taxes is how we pay for the UBI. One of the ways we pay for the UBI. So your first kid is free. Your first child is free, and then
But I'm the only one having children. No one else wanted them because it was costing them money. So I've had children for my whole community.
that's a bad idea. You don't want to do that.
That's a bit like Soviet China to me.
How could you
Well,
have
you-
78 children?
How much
Sorry.
is the child tax?
It starts at
$90.
90 for your second kid, and then it goes up from there. There's a formula for it.
90?
90 a month.
$90 a month.
90 a month, so you get taxed $90 every month.
Each
It's
parent
like that-
too. It's per parent, so it's 180 per child.
It's
It's
an
like
accident.
Okay, so and does that go until the child is 18 or for life?
That's for life.
Okay, you're
tax
retarded.
Hey,
So, but hold on a second. You're giving everybody UBI, and then you're taxing them this nominal amount for a job that presumably they won't have to do because we've automated everything and given people UBI. So, where are your taxes coming from? It sounds like you're creating a system with a giant drain in the bottom. Like, I'm an advocate for UBI, but it sounds like you studied like the retarded theory of economics when you sort of formulated this general notion of the future.
So we
It's a pink
tax
ad.
factories. We tax electricity on a like a exponential level. So the more kilowatt hours you use, the more tax you pay. If you have your one robot arm working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, that robot arm is getting taxed like $400 a month in electricity. And that's just one example. And then we also tax.
Okay.
We have an exponential tax on property. So the more property you own.
So what happens when there isn't really work required to generate that electricity? Where you're taxing it? Nobody really needs to pay for it because it's no longer a commodity. Let's say we get
fusion.
the fusion off the ground that they're building in France right now, right? Like in Paris. So that fires up. Suddenly we have dirt cheap fusion. Everybody has a, functionally, for at least a scale of society that we have currently, limitless amount of energy in the grand scheme of things, and doesn't really cost anything to produce. What are you taxing exactly? Like, why not just chuck money out? Like, I just don't understand why you're going anarcho-capitalist if you're trying to build a utopia. It seems like a retarded plot line.
I was teasing with the anarcho-capitalist. I'm a mutualist. Do you know what that is?
I do. I'm not retarded.
Well, a lot of people don't, because the
Okay.
left versus right bullshit. But anyway,
I'm a futurist centrist. So
I'm a centrist too. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my god, you guys should have a baby together.
We
You can pay
can't. We're
$90
both
a
men.
month or whatever.
The tragedy of nature has
What?
made us both men.
Well, I mean, you know what? Surgery. We don't know where things. Look, we don't know where things will go with. Look, if you guys would stop discriminating against the trans people, we don't know where these surgeries will be in 50 years. Who knows?
Anyway,
We can't stop doing that because we can't even stop talking over each other. What hope
know.
in the fucking Lord Jesus Christ Earth planet do you think that we have? We can't even do that?
that's a very good
What
point.
a sad state of affairs. Oh.
It's shallow. It's very shallow.
Can I pedal a bike and generate my own electricity?
No.
Like Black Mirror? Are you talking like Black
No.
Mirror?
Alright.
No, you
What?
can't do that,
I
Lewis.
can't?
Lewis,
That's illegal. Can't be
The-
doing that.
The electricity taxes are very low for residents. It's mostly for factories and
Your
businesses.
puny little human legs can't generate enough electricity to allow you to attempt it.
Sorry, no.
Because I would
there's
just
laws
put the kids
against
on bikes.
generating your own electricity, so don't even be thinking about it. Don't do it.
I thought
That's
David
just
said there were no bikes because
There's
China makes.
posters probably just like don't do it. Love the management. It's like some sort of hilarious person generating their own electricity with a big no.
So, are the taxes like in the form of currency or in the form of electricity?
It's gold, silver, and Bitcoin is the currencies.
So,
Okay,
two
so how do
useless
people-
ores,
how do people
two
earn it?
useless ores
How
that
do-
we'll be able to synthesize and mine from space, and what? I don't know, an Elon
How do
Musk
people
fever
earn
dream?
it?
Why are we doing that?
Zant, we're supposed to be taking this
How do you
fucking
earn it?
seriously. So can you just, button up?
Okay, I will so closed my Canadian cynicism.
So you can
said you're a
earn.
mutualist. You said you're a mutualist, but earlier on you said you're not a socialist. How does that work exactly?
So mutualism is not socialism.
No, well, it advocates a socialist society, doesn't it? Based on free markets.
But
How
that's
do you earn? How do you earn?
okay.
Lewis,
There's
you
multiple
have
ways
know
to
that
earn.
You can't
You
own
can
property.
you can
Can't own property in the system. Okay.
I'll tell you one way you can't earn, Lewis, and that's
That
through
Lewis,
prostitution.
Yeah, that's so funny.
We've established
Sorry,
that
sorry.
prostitution is off the table.
yes.
But how can you?
Okay.
How can you
the,
earn?
the UBI? You can pay your taxes with the UBI. You can get a job.
How much is it?
$360 is the average. $360 a month.
A month?
So
Yeah.
hold on, if everybody's
Okay,
at a
so I
base
can
level,
have 4 kids. I can have 4 kids and live for free. What is the what kind of jobs are we talking here, and how much do they pay?
It's based on a free market economy, so I can't really answer that. But it's probably going to
yeah,
be
but I mean,
probably more than what we have now.
so if you're gonna like,
Okay, so
If
the
you-
tax isn't really a problem.
yeah, if you're gonna get people to pay a tax though out of a UBI that everybody gets equally, then anybody who's not bringing in extra revenue loses that amount of the UBI that you've already given them. Then why not just eliminate that tax and give them a baseline UBI? Like, it seems absolutely stupid to do it that way. Why would you do that?
Because
Wait, and also, when do the kids start getting UBI?
10.
Right.
10?
10? Why
Okay,
10?
Dude,
Yeah.
what the fuck? This isn't a problem at all. They get their own UBI. You just bang out kids, in 10 years they'll all get their own UBI.
That's one of the
No,
reasons for child
that's
taxes.
That's a stupid system. Look, you got to understand that if you're going to do a UBI, you're going to include people that are under working age. That what you got to do is you got to give half the value of what a full adult's UBI would be. So, like, if you're giving an adult $1,000 a month, then every kid each month gets $500 that goes into a trust that's released when they hit 18. So not only do they get their full UBI transferred them to at that point, but they have a startup fund to afford their first apartment or home or whatever college education that they need pre-stored that the parents don't need. Like, you haven't thought this through, clearly.
Oh, I have.
So you,
Oh,
no,
no.
you haven't. You've got by definition, you have an ever-expanding population within inside your citadel, and a finite
That's why
amount of
the
space
child
to build.
taxes exist.
No, you're not listening. You have a ever-expanding population because people don't have to die or grow old.
Oh, okay. So if we assume immortality, then yes, I have a problem.
You did subsume that. You said people could live for as long as they wanted to.
We cured aging, everybody. We cured it.
I think every society is going to have a big problem if we have immortality.
Right, but we're talking about yours, which is an enclave with limited resources.
Okay, we won't assume immortality anymore.
Okay.
That doesn't solve the problem. So.
Delete that spreadsheet column now, then, quickly.
Yeah, I know.
I was seeing an infinite money system there.
Lots
Have all
of
illnesses
inflation.
been cured? And no one dies of illnesses, it's just natural old age now.
Yes, like just
So we're
symptoms
still
of
living
aging.
longer anyway.
Symptoms
bored.
of age.
What else have we got to do but fuck?
Oh no, what a terrible reality we find ourselves in.
Yeah, and we're having accidental pregnancies.
No, because the people who are immortal get vasectomy.
Alright, so you're not having eternal life and children at some
that's-
stage.
yes.
I'm not.
People won't be able to
I'm not
reproduce.
getting a vasectomy. I'm not
People
getting a
won't be able to
vasectomy.
If you're living to be,
reproduce,
if you're gonna be immortal, you have to.
No, I don't.
They'll clip your balls and then make you immortal.
I'll
That's
just
like-
tell them
I mean,
that I
if
already
you
got
live
it.
Then how does the human race continue once everybody ages out at 180 or whatever?
If
I
you
don't-
have to get a vasectomy to be immortal, you're excluding women. That's sexist.
Listen, I haven't completely thought through the immortality problems yet, so just forgive me on that one.
Lewis doesn't want to be immortal.
I don't
I
need
don't.
to be. You know, if I can like live to like 200, I can just have a kid every 10 years. They live under me. They become immortal, and now they're just a constant stream of money coming into my household.
No, you get
Have you ever
bored.
seen those?
Kids
Have
are
you
just
ever
going
seen
to give
those-
away their money to you, Lewis.
Yes, they are.
Have you ever
You got
seen those
nothing
big?
to do. Sorry.
Have you seen those big containers where they have a garden, an ecosystem in the big bottle to keep it in the sunlight? And they have a cork in the top, and then the system inside the bottle keeps itself going indefinitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what you're aiming. That's going to have to be your target in terms of how old you let people live for, how many children they have. That's what you're aiming for, because you've got to make sure that you keep that balance in there.
Yeah, it's a tough problem, isn't it?
It is a
Yeah.
tough problem, because if you don't have that balance, your system won't work.
It's like you're asking to build a perpetual motion machine.
Yeah. What you're going to end up with is, you ever seen the film Logan's Run?
My parts of it, I think. Yeah, I've heard of it though.
Yeah. The important part is the point you want to focus on, because that's where you're going.
What about air rights over the top of your house? Do you get to purchase those?
You don't have a house anymore. You live in a multi-story thing.
You live in a
Apartment.
city.
You just have. You're lucky if you have a window.
Everybody's gonna hate me then.
You play loud
Yeah,
music.
You'll be out of a job.
No. No. I just don't play nice with people when I'm that close to them.
So if you do the math, everyone has about 2,000 square feet per person of living
You're not
space.
doing the. Listen. It's all very well you do.
I already have 6 kids, so did they each get 2,000 square feet in our building for us, the family?
Who's cleaning them up?
No, that's just an average.
It's all
You
very
build
well,
this
and
stuff, you don't have to clean it.
it's all very well you doing the math, as you call it, and building these modular cities. Yeah. But what you haven't done, which is what we just discussed a minute ago, is the fundamental core mathematics of humanity. Without that, everything else you're doing is just Minecraft and wanking.
You said you loved it earlier.
I was being sarcastic.
Oh, I didn't pick up on that.
It's horrific. It's horrific what you're proposing.
Why? Compared to what we have now? What's the average home price in the UK?
It's high.
About 350.
A little bit higher than 350.
350.
It's high.
And
But
does the
point is
queen
this.
assist you with a UBI, I assume?
She's dead.
Oh, right.
Queen is dead.
King, the
And
king.
we do have a minimum
What?
wage. But
What are you naming the cities? Commonopolis?
No, it's not communist.
The fuck
sure?
it isn't. Unless I can go and do what I want and act the way I want, even though I might get in trouble, it's communism.
Well, yeah, you would get in trouble if you do whatever the hell you want, like punch someone in the face.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not above that.
So how is it communism? Because you can't punch someone
Communism because you're telling me that I have to live a certain way, abide by certain rules, and, you're gonna govern how I have children, when I'm allowed to, all that stuff. So yeah, that would be communism.
Well,
Isn't
it's
that fascist?
optional, so you don't have to live there.
Isn't that fascism when you dictate to people how they live?
No, because it's all contractual. You sign the contract.
All right, I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to just start pumping out kids and funneling all of the money that they generate through UBI outside of the city to my compound where the real people are at. And it's just going to be a parasitic infinite loop until I have enough power to just really tear it all down.
That's right. Let's do it, Lewis. That's right. Let's do
It's
it.
quite literally fuck the system.
That's a
Lewis,
really
I'm gonna
good
need
point.
proof that you can have children. We have no proof yet.
That's true. That's a good point, VD.
Don't worry. I'll let you have some of mine. I'll keep making them for you.
Savage is gonna donate.
Yeah, okay.
It's a good question, isn't it? What could we do that's better than what we have now? In virtually every aspect of your design, you're kind of tipping your hat the fact that human nature means that some people will get richer and have more influence or have more, have better, nicer things, and other people have shitter things. At the same time, you're trying to imagine that it's a bit like heaven, aren't you?
Well, heaven is impossible on Earth because our universe is imperfect.
Yeah,
Ooh,
and in heaven,
baby.
everybody gets to do what they want, go where they want, and
Well, the universe
see what they want.
is perfect.
Do you know what it's worth?
The human is not perfect, but the universe is.
Can the savages on the outside, can anybody just come and join?
There's an immigration system that you have to get through, like an interview process,
Okay.
background check, stuff like that.
Lewis, we're not going to make it through the interview.
How do we don't know that.
We quiz you on
I
the
know I
Bible.
won't.
And how do we have a background check if we've been out of the system for so long? Like, we don't have backgrounds.
Well, this would be in the United States, this one, so we would do a background check in the United States.
Yep, social
Okay,
score.
so-
Got to keep your social
So
score
what-
up, otherwise.
What's to stop me from just having a bunch of kids outside the system and they all just come one by one on their own autonomy to join?
And
What's
then
to
they
stop
all
them
get
from coming
UBI?
in? Right.
That's a
That's
great
correct.
question. I don't know.
Lewis,
Certain-
they're going to need that because they can't have children of their own. They're going to need some new kids from somewhere to come.
You
well,
make
that's
a,
where me and Lewis step in and start knocking up these lot lizards from out there on the outside.
lot lizards.
That's right. Look, what happens is we build up security for these people outside. The women come to us for security. Their kids go into the city, generate money. It's an infinite cycle. And the more we do it, the faster we can do it. The more women come. And it's just a progressively accelerated cycle.
That's right.
So,
Oh, look at me!
actually,
Here we come!
Lewis, you make a very good point. I was going to grandfather children into the system, but now that you have told me your scheme, I don't think that's possible.
People are already
So how
doing that, right?
So how do people get in then? How's anybody
So-
going to join?
So, if you join with 3 kids, that means you're going to have to immediately pay child taxes on your 3 kids.
And
No,
what
no,
is
no.
grand-
These people are coming in all on their own. These kids have grown up outside the system. They're coming in. They're immigrating in all on their own.
Hang on a sec. What does grandfather system mean? Do you want women to have sex with their grandparents?
It's a term
no.
in the United States. It's a legal term.
Grandfather. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's a legal term for when an old law is ignored, because you could maybe word it better, Savage.
Yeah, it's not a law. It's if I already have, let's say I already have this building, and now with the new construction laws, as long as I keep ownership of that building, they cannot make me upgrade my building to
Okay.
the current standard, it allows it to stay the way that it was.
Yeah, so it's like it's a waiver for a pre-existing condition would be a good way to put it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Does your city fall in line with this Trinity contract concept?
Yes, they're related.
And that's
What's it
and to be clear, that's a synthesis of capitalism and communism.
Yes.
So this is a socialist state then you're building, aren't you?
No. It's mutualist.
Right.
Do you want me to explain what mutualism is?
No, mutualism. I understand what it is. It's a socialist society construct, isn't it?
No, I reject that definition.
You reject the actual definition of mutualism, then, do you?
Because, okay, socialism is this umbrella term for everything between Stalinism and what I'm trying to do, everything in between, and it's just a stupid fucking word. It's the dumbest fucking word in the English language is socialism. Because it means everything, therefore it means nothing.
Right,
What?
so contemporary European socialist society you're building, aren't you, at the very least?
I'm building a mutualist society.
You're unbelievable.
You're just giving it a
unbelievable.
special fancy name. Is all you're doing.
You are.
No, because a mutualist,
Yeah, like that.
it's a specific,
You're an American.
it's a specific
You're an
term
American
of ideas.
word socialist.
Yeah,
You
I know
just
it's a
described-
specific term, but that's because you guys have taken the dictionary over the last 20 years and shook that fucker up and give new words to different meanings that we already all knew what it was called. Like,
You've
there's
literally-
so many labels now that are being made up every 24 hours. It's hard to keep up with how everybody is putting a new definition on it when it still means that it's fucking communism or socialism.
That's
What's
the point.
your
You
difference?
you describe your city as a synthesis of capitalism and socialism. Yeah, socialism is as extreme definition as you can get. Yeah. Sorry, communism. You said it's one end. You said communism when you said capitalism. Yeah. Do you understand that socialism is between capitalism and communism? Yeah. Socialism is somewhere in between that.
I just don't think, I don't like isms. They're too one-dimensional.
You guys just define what the fuck
What
you're
about
talking
communism?
about. Use whatever word you want. Just tell us what you fucking mean.
Worker
Yeah, right.
profit sharing. Worker profit sharing.
So a compound.
No.
like we all work, for the better of the group, and everybody has a certain job. Like, you're the bread maker, I'm the leather maker, because everybody needs those goods in here, and then we all just make the fucking place rock and roll. We make it work.
Not quite. So, okay,
have-
let's say you work at a restaurant, right? And you put
Okay.
40 hours a week into the restaurant. The restaurant makes $10,000 for the month. Your profit sharing percent of that $10,000 would be 10%, let's say. So you get an additional $1,000 a month at the end of the month for your profit sharing.
Right.
You're going into stakeholders.
Yeah.
Everyone.
He's basically
Everyone
arguing
has
for cryptocurrency. He just doesn't realize it.
Well,
Everyone
Yeah,
is
right.
using.
Well, the
everyone
only-
is everyone is sharing all the parks. Everyone is sharing all the open spaces. Everyone is sharing all the luxuries. Everyone is sharing the police force. Everyone is sharing education. Everyone is sharing a health scheme, I presume. The hospitals for everyone.
No, that's free market.
What?
Wow. Wow. You still got.
But you're
paper medicine in
controlling
your
the
world.
amount of money that we can make, right?
No. No,
Like
the
every-
free market does that.
So you want
It's
to
a
take
savage.
Australia's health system and put it
Go
back
ahead.
50 years? You're going to take Australia's health system and put it back 50 years and make it like America's?
Yes,
Which
America's
no
on
one in the world-
steroids. America
no one
on
in the world
steroids.
has that system, except America.
on
No one
steroids.
wants it. It's a
So
very...
if-
Like,
If you
imagine,
don't like
imagine
the-
if McDonald's ran a hospital. That's what I want.
McDonald's hasn't got to do with our health and living and
But
surviving.
okay, if McDonald's ran a hospital, that's essentially what the system that I'm proposing.
You are a sociopath, mate.
This McDonald's is getting ready to
You guys are
lay
using
off
all
a
these
whole
words
bunch
wrong.
of
It's
people.
pissing me off.
But there's no illness anyway, so you don't need hospitals. If we can extend life, then surely we're not doing that so we can live to be sick longer. So
I mean, I'm sure I'll break a finger or a knuckle or two.
So now we just have
somebody's
accidents.
ass.
In your mind's eye, fuck everybody. They're going to have to pay for their healthcare, but they all get to use the green open spaces equally.
So in our present society, are parks shared?
Oh, so hold on a minute. I thought you were rallying against.
So how is that radical to share parks?
All you're doing is taking your society and shoving it in an enclave, aren't you? That's what you're doing. This is your vision.
Why are you so hostile?
No, because you said earlier on that you had a vision for the future. This is a vision for the present, just with a wall around it in small 144,000 people battalion enclaves.
It's actually a vision for the past. If you're taking us into America's health system when the rest of the world is way more advanced than that, then you're dragging us backwards, and we're not going to come.
You know, like when you go to
that's
Disneyland,
fine.
there's pipe music. Are you going to pipe verses of
Technically,
the
you
Bible?
would be able to
everywhere you go?
afford to come. There's a tax on it. If you spill your seed on the ground, they're going to tax you.
That's what you're doing. You're doing Bible land, aren't you?
Yes.
You are doing Bible land. Well, at least you admit it. At least you admit it. You can't get out, basically, can you?
No, of course you can. Your
Well, you
UBI
can't
is
cash it
if you
out.
leave the city, they pause your UBI.
So in other words, if you leave, can you get back in as easy as you leave?
Yeah. We leave the door open.
Okay, and you've got immigration, and you've got procreation, but no deaths, or you've got very, very long-living people. Yeah, I don't think you thought this through, have you? Really?
I clearly have.
How many
We're like
times
2
you
hours
say
into
that,
the
Pazzo?
conversation.
Damn, I should have been here for the beginning of it.
Yeah, you joined like 2/3 of the way through this.
Yeah, sorry.
No, you don't have to apologize.
Apologize.
Better late than never to poke a little bit at it.
I think he's thought it through a lot. There's just a lot of kinks he needs to iron out.
The immortality is a big one, I had to admit.
Yeah, it's a
The
problem.
biggest one that I would see so far from what I've heard everybody, talk about what you've been talking about for the past 2 hours is definitely the medical part of it. I mean, even though you say that, you've fixed a lot of those problems in humans or you could become immortal.
What about crime?
Yeah.
What about crime? Have you got what's your police force? Is that you've got a socialist construct for your police force?
No,
Or
it's a
is it
free market police.
Free market. So if you're poor and a crime gets committed against you, you get less policing than the rich.
No, it
Hell
would be like
no.
a subscription service. You know how you pay for your internet? You pay for your police.
Yeah. Right,
That
so
is
if you're
so
poor, you can't
mobster
afford-
mentality.
Oh, unbelievable.
But I had
I need
63 children. I don't have any money left to pay for my police.
Well, you should have thought about that before you had 63 kids.
It's too late now.
Nah, just bring the kids over. I'll teach them Taekwondo. We'll fuck everybody up. We'll become mercenaries. We'll be for hire. It's free market.
Cobra Kai forever.
That's
have you
right.
Have you got a big open space in the middle where you can hold your rallies?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I bet you have.
Drive your little mini missile tanks down through the
We
center of town.
we plan projects at the rallies.
Yeah, I bet.
We pool our money together like socialists and plan projects.
Socialists.
Are boys still allowed to like ride motorbikes and do boy things outside, even though I live in a 10-story building that has no...
Nope. They got to do all those things indoors now.
Has no windows.
No, it's surrounded by
Shit.
parks. It's surrounded by forest.
So in this small place, how are you going to handle the heat that all these buildings and everything are going to generate?
It's water cooled by an
We're
air
gonna
conditioning
use that
system.
heat, generate energy, and that energy is going to be
I think
taxed.
you would do better if you use
water will be
glycol.
taxed.
Don't use water. Water is going to be a very scarce and hot commodity.
The air is going
Savage,
to be taxed. Your semen is going to be taxed.
I do think the air conditioning is the least of his fucking worries, if I'm honest.
I know that. Put a swamp cooler in the side of your block wall because you don't have a window. Fuck it.
You guys are such pessimists. You know Gintopia is going to be awesome.
Yeah,
Fuck Gintopia.
Ginotopia's going to be better than this.
I will definitely burn Gintopia to the ground. Fuck yeah.
It doesn't sound much different.
No.
Why? What was his like?
Just like yours.
It was just
Nobody will have to work, but you'll have to work to get your food. What?
At least he openly admitted he was a fascist.
Yeah. His is a little more strong arm, and if you're weak, then you got to go into like a reconditioning camp of gymnasts.
That sounds completely different than what I'm proposing.
That's the only difference.
And it's
in
going
the
to be taxed.
caveat of
We're
it.
going to tax your fitness, everyone.
Yeah, tax your fit.
We're going to
Everybody's
tax
got to
your
do
school,
10
tax your
star
urine.
jumps and ride your Hummer bicycle.
Does everybody get the same education? In your one last question: is education free?
It's a free market education.
So you give that long enough, and you end up with us hyper intelligent, ultra elite, wealthy people who can afford everything, and a whole chunk of people at the bottom who are living below a poverty line or a line of exclusionism.
That wouldn't
Inclusion,
happen.
yeah.
How are you going to
of
deal with
course
the
not.
ghetto building? Because you're not going to have the ghetto of the end of the town. This is going to be like one building full of fucktards that just destroy their environment.
You keep saying it's a free market, but then when someone points out that the market can go one way or the other, you say that wouldn't happen.
So,
childish.
okay, according to your logic, all of the poor people should be starving. And why is that not happening? Why do the poor have access to food under the free market system?
Because you haven't dealt with the rats.
You'll have a baseline. What you're suggesting is a massive amount of people, a baseline populace who have exactly the same privileges, the same access, and the same provisions in their lives. That is communism.
You just said there's going to be rampant inequality 2 seconds ago.
It will be, because there's going to be a group of people at the top who get wealthier and wealthier, have better education.
They
and
can't
the free
be
market
landlords. There's no landlords. They can't be
So what?
capitalists either.
They make things as expensive as they want. They control more stuff. They have more influence, like you said earlier on.
The CEOs are elected. They're not even CEOs.
Pazza, what do you mean when you say communist? Because you keep saying it all the time.
Because he's dealing with he's got a rampant free market economy where he's got
That's
people
not
can't leave.
that's not communism.
It's not communist at all.
I didn't say it was, but when you end up with with the vast majority of the people on a UBI at the bottom who aren't able to get out of that situation, this is virtually communism.
What is your definition of communism? Answer the goddamn question.
Well, communism in the sense that how it transpires in the world when communism doesn't work properly. A whole load of people who have got fuck all. And have got
Cannot
fuck all
use the
power.
word communism to define communism.
What do you mean by that exactly?
You said the word communism in your definition of communism.
I'm not talking about communism as it's described in economics and stuff. I'm saying about communism as it transpires in the world in which we live. I'm not talking about the socio-political.
What was the question that I asked you, Pazza?
What do I mean by communism?
Yes.
Communism
Why aren't you
is
answering that question?
Well, it's an economic construct where you have like common ownership and means of production, distribution is shared, and that sort of thing. Yeah.
Then why do you keep not using that definition and keep calling everything communism when it doesn't meet that definition at all?
No, I'm talking about what we in the common vernacular. We talk about communist Russia. That's clearly not how the world worked when it was beyond the Iron Curtain. Yet. People had fuck all power and it's corrupt as fuck.
Oh my god, you've gone full Johnny B. I'm done.
Anywho, the reason that there won't be a poor underclass is because A, they have profit sharing, B, they have UBI, C, they have 0% income tax and 0% payroll tax, D, they don't need a vehicle to go about their business and to exist in society, and then E, we are focusing on mass producing affordable housing.
Well, who's
You
doing
may
the
have got
upkeep on all these buildings and all the equipment and everything that's running this place? Who's doing the maintenance?
I mean, they're made of steel. Like, they don't need a whole lot of maintenance.
Oh yes,
We're
they
gonna
do.
We're going to tax the maintenance on the buildings. Problem solved.
Even that, like, you say that I don't need a car. Well, how am I packing my fucking ladder around on my electric scooter?
There's golf carts and forklifts.
Still, you've seen the you should see the level of tools that I own to do
You
that
have to haul
very
your
job.
tools on a golf cart.
Yeah, right.
Put a wagon on it.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, there's
Somebody's
gonna
got to own the crane to go up the side, clean the block or the concrete of this building. I mean, yeah, I get it. They wouldn't be window cleaners because fuck it, this is just a solid gray structure stuck straight up in the air. But just saying.
there might be a few transportation infrastructure issues like that for sure.
Yeah, I don't think that they would be too keen with me getting on the bus, swinging this 20-foot ladder around. You know what I mean? Like, it'd be a little tough. Excuse me, I need to use that seat to put my roll away, toolkit down. Sorry about that, ma'am.
You'll have to buy collapsible toolkits that shrink, become very small.
The Jetsons.
What's
It's
cool
in my
though
briefcase.
is because of the construction, no one needs to do roofing anymore. No one needs to do siding anymore. Gutters, insulation.
Job away.
Insulation is no more.
The buildings will just build
basements.
themselves, and we'll tax them for
Basements are
building
no
themselves.
more.
You want to outlaw basements?
No, the skyscrapers use post and beam construction. So
So humans will lose all the skills of building.
You better leave the construction up to somebody that knows. You're not going to be building no skyscraper out of post and beam structure.
Why not?
You need the basement to help anchor the building to the ground.
Yeah, you need all that concrete down there. Yeah, the footprint to hold a skyscraper in the air. If they could actually show that exploded view underground is fucking insane.
Oh, they're doing one in the city of Brisbane here a few years ago, and it's just this massive hole in the ground before they put in the skyscraper. It's a huge fucking hole.
Aren't those usually parking lots though?
None of this is irrelevant when you're doing drag and drop caddy Minecrafty type city design. Right?
I have an engineering firm that's already done the plans.
I bet you have.
Okay,
I
I guess the other big thing, how are you growing your food?
We are
vertical?
using the traditional food infrastructure in system.
Oh, that'll collapse. You need to go vertical. You will have to have vertical greenhouses in order to keep these walled-in cities fed.
It generates too much heat, too much electricity.
No, it would take it away. It would take it away, and it would add oxygen to your city. It would add color. It would add inspiration, and it would look beautiful.
Greenhouses, they're pretty good.
Where are you getting your food from? It wasn't clear.
I import it from the existing system.
So in other words, you're not. So in other words, you're reliant on your food from the system that you're rallying against on the outside.
Yes.
Come on, Lewis, we're gonna make it. I know how to do farming, so we'll be selling to these cities.
So they say to you, so that this outside society says you go, we need some food, please, and they go, yeah, it'll be $100. The next month they get you go, yeah, it's $1,000 this month. You what? Yeah, it's $1,000. What are you going to do about that?
Then I would just shop somewhere else.
How are you going to get it to where you are? You've got no transport system on the outside, have you? Trains.
Or
Who's
even
going to build a train?
semis.
Who's going to build a train track to your citadel?
We'll tax
We will.
the trains. Don't worry about it. The
We're
answer is
building a
taxation.
citadel. How hard is it to build a train track?
Yeah. And what you're doing is you're building a constricted market, so people are going to just basically fleece the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
Capitalism, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you definitely don't want your food, water, and electric to be hijacked by people outside your city or your whole network. You have to be able to have control of that so that people cannot take advantage. Because the first thing I would do is cut your fucking food, water, and your electric off, and gas.
Who's in charge
of?
of?
Come talk to me.
Who's in charge of the U.S. food supply?
Farmers, not the government.
So it's decentralized, and there's no one who actually controls it. Correct?
Oh, but
Right.
they'll soon start building up little market cartels around your city. I'll tell you.
Yeah.
What do you, dude? You're delusional, Pazza.
But you don't know what price gouging is. You don't think that price gouging, if people left to their own devices, won't start charging you whatever.
Have you ever heard of
they think they can get
shipping?
away with.
Have you ever heard of shipping?
Who's going to do the shipping? And how are you going to drive
Semis,
them?
trains.
Who's going to drive those semis?
I mean, it's
Have you
all
ever bought anything on the
hypothetical,
fucking internet?
Gone to all this trouble to build a city with all these little rules and little facets of the independence from the rest of the society, but you were
What
still
happened to
relying
the-
on it for your food.
What happened to the bicycle? 5 minutes to
Do
get
you
any-
do you? How much of your food do you grow, Pazza? What percentage of your food do you grow yourself?
I grow absolutely none of my food myself.
Oh wow! What a big surprise. How could you possibly survive without growing any food for
Wanna
yourself?
ask me?
Because I buy my food.
That's exactly what I'm going to be doing. Wow! What a surprise. It's almost
you're not.
like there's roles in
Took away
society
the
that
ability
people
for
play.
people to own acres of land and have a farm. You are totally hypocritical, and you contradict yourself constantly in this model. You might as well be a flat earther.
How am I contradicting myself?
You just said that people can't own land and that you were going to tax them increasingly, exponentially, for the more square feet they have, which basically puts farmers out of business.
Yes, there's no farmers. You're correct.
So exactly. So who's going to grow your food?
We're buying it, like I said.
From who?
Farmers
There's no farmers to grow the food.
in the United States. What are you talking
There
about?
will be no farmers, but you're going to buy your food from farmers.
God damn, you are a flat earther.
Where do you buy your food from, Vertical?
A non-contradictory system.
You buy your food from the grocery store. Where do they get it from? They get it from farmers, don't they? But the first question you guys asked about the food system, I said we use the traditional food infrastructure. That was my answer. Now, what does
Yes,
that
but
mean?
what
That means
happens
grocery
if-
stores. That means food processing facilities.
Why does
And that
food?
means you-
Why isn't food that I buy 10 times more expensive than it is right now?
Because you live in the UK.
No, yeah, but why is the food not where you? What sets the price of the food where you are right now?
I would say the
answer
shipping.
Is, the answer is no. Forget all that. You're missing the point. The answer is the price that you have to pay for your food right now is exactly the amount that people can get away with charging you.
You don't even
It's
know.
capitalism.
You don't even think the free market exists. Are you a communist?
No, the free market exactly. The free market just does exactly what I just
Are
said.
you a
The
socialist,
free market
Pazza?
No. The free market. The consequence of the free market you espouse is that you get charged what people can get away with charging you for everything in your entire life. That's how it works.
That's not true.
It is absolutely true. If you're delusional if you think that the price that you pay for things is set in any other way. People will charge as much as they can for everything they can produce. That's how capitalism works.
So why is food relatively stable in price throughout the United States and other countries?
Because you can get it from loads of places.
Whoa, you answered your own question. You see that? That's crazy.
Oh,
Wow.
The thing about your system, okay, right, is you're sitting in your city with your door to the outside world, and all the farmers around you will charge you is whatever they can get away with charging you.
Have you ever heard of a thing called roads?
And you'll be starting to pay. You'll be buying it from further afield, and you'll start to pay more for transport and more for cost for your food. And then the
Oh my
people
God,
that
dude.
transport it will twig
You're-
on.
you're gonna
the
give me a
people that
headache.
people that transport to your city will twig, and they'll start charging you more for transportation.
So why doesn't
You'll get
why doesn't this
gouged.
happen
You'll
right
get
now
gouged.
to everyone? Why does this not happen to everyone right now?
Well, it
Because
has
everybody's
been. Our
just-
food has been going up.
That's
The
from
point is
all
that
the
we-
COVID money printing.
You're gonna get gouged to fuck in your city.
Well, it's not true, but whatever. If I would get gouged to fuck in my city, then you would be getting gouged to fuck right now.
No, because
There's fundamentally no difference. You're buying food remotely from farmers and grocery stores. I'm buying food remotely from groceries and farmers. What's the difference? Honest, what is the difference?
I'm not buying.
You're
I'm not buying.
outline dairy, you're outline cattle, you're outline ownership of land. There's not going to be a farmer who doesn't own the land that they
I'm
farm
buying from the
into.
United States. What are you talking about? I said this 3 times.
There's no farmers then.
There's no farmers in the United
There's
States?
just these magic people who are farming the land of the United States.
The United States still exists in this scenario. Where do you think it went?
Hold on. In your
what he's
scenario, and what Paz is saying, a lot of it is true, because if you wrap a wall around the outside of this, and I have to immigrate into your town and go through this whole entire thing to even be able to get into the place, then anybody that is supplying this place can effectively say whatever price that they want for the goods that they are bringing to the wall in order for you to open it up. Now, yes, you might be able to go to somebody else, but I'm talking to Jeff on the phone saying, don't take your shit there either unless they pay this amount of price for this stuff. And if not, then we don't bring it to you. And then you guys either starve or you're sending all your women out because that's what I want for payment. Like, they can really do that to you. And if you're saying that why doesn't that happen now, it's because Indianapolis, they haven't wrapped the wall around the outside of it and said nobody else is allowed in it except for the people that are in it now. And as soon as you do that, everybody is going to price gouge the shit out of you.
Because they want to live in the city? That doesn't make sense.
No, because you need to be able to supply your city, because you limited yourself. Instead of taking some of your green space and shooting it straight up in the air and making 40-story fucking greenhouses so that you can sustain your city, so that you are not subjected to people basically pirating everything to you or black marketing it to you. You would have better control if you can control your water, electric, gas, just like we do now. Because you're now in a small footprint and you're excluded by anybody in the outside world. You don't get to drill a hole down and start sucking oil out the ground. You don't get to suck water out the ground. Eventually the aquifer is going to be either tainted, dirty, or non-existent.
So I have bad news. There's not a single agriculturally sustainable city in all of the world.
Shame that, isn't it?
Gonna
Why is
start
the
with that.
VC being so retarded?
So what you're
There's
suggesting is
city
possible
states
with
that
every
are not
city on
growing their own
Earth.
food, and it has to be shipped in. I mean, what this guy's proposing on this front is fine.
Like, what city is agriculturally sustainable? New York City? Do they grow all of their food?
You have you seen a lot of the cities now, bud? Like, real shit, they are basically deserts of grocery stores and everything. Like, it's a bad situation that we have going on even right now. I find it funny that you haven't asked. I'm the one that's been pushing the agriculture stuff, and you ain't asked me how much I grow, what percentage of my food I grow every year.
You're probably doing pretty good, but I'm talking about an urban situation.
Right.
So it's a different scenario.
It still landlocks you in to where people will force you to have to pay whatever the price is. They're the ones that get to dictate it, especially if you just said none of the cities, none of the anybody. I mean, if you add up one of these cities around here, they grow a lot of food, even right out in their backyard. It may not be enough to sustain their family for the whole entire year, but it sure knocks that fucking grocery bill down and alleviates them going and buying every tomato up at the market because they got 20 plants out in the backyard. The food is the big one. Water and food are the two biggest ones. We all know that we can live without lights and we can live without the car, but you can't live without the other two. And if people strong arm you and hold that over the top of your head, you are going to do whatever the fuck you can to make sure that your cities can stay afloat.
Yeah,
that's where the price gouging comes in.
Going back to your original point, I don't buy my food from a farmer. I buy my food from a range of competitive suppliers of food, supermarkets, hypermarkets, shops, all compete against each other. That's why the price is set where my price is set, because I'm not using one source for my food. You can't ship in. You can't get a farmer to supply all your food for 144,000 people through one portal all year round. Yeah, it's unrealistic to suggest that would happen.
Why? Because of a military blockade?
You're gonna need a corporation on the outside supplying it to you.
Because
you ain't gonna control that corporation.
What are you suggesting? Like a military blockade? Is that what you're suggesting?
No. You're gonna have to go to You're gonna have to go to a rampant piece of capitalism mechanism outside that supplies your food. A corporation. And the reason that
have you ever heard of distributors?
Yeah.
Yes, but you
have you ever heard of like supply chain?
Distributors talk to each other. A lot of those distributors talk to each other to keep the market at a level playing field. So if all these cities are blocked in, they're just going to be like, look, they got to do what the fuck we say. Jack it up. You know what I mean? Like, who's going to govern them? Because it isn't going to be your city's government. They're not going to have any power over the outside of the wall in what people do and what they charge for things. Yeah, he'll sell me the pound of flour for $2.50, but you guys are paying $100 for that same pound of flour.
Why would they do that?
Because I can. Because I could charge you that. You have no choice but to pay it. Because you have no other way to make it.
What's preventing them from doing that to any other city?
Tell you what else I could do. I could buy all the land. I could buy all the land around your enclave. I could buy all the land.
You can't own land in his country, dude. Come on.
No, I don't.
He said around it, not in
outside. In the United States, he's ignoring. I could buy all the land around his enclave. Then what's he going to do?
Well, I will say this. I am, like, there's been a lot more talk about this and the stuff that, you know, the 15-minute cities, 5-minute cities, fuck-off cities, whatever. And at least people are talking about, you know, how could this be plausible? What would it take? And then what are all the downfalls of it? But you have to be able to accept that there could potentially be downfalls. And the biggest downfall is people holding your goods hostage that make your city run.
This is true for every city that exists on Earth. It's true for every city that exists on Earth.
No, it is not, because
yes,
all the other cities on Earth do not have walls and do not let anybody in. That's the difference.
Right. Remember that wall in Germany? It impoverished the people on both sides.
Yeah, fucking damn near ruined every one of them. Yeah.
You are being naive if you think the outside world's
bro,
going
what's
to go,
going on, everybody?
what price do you want to pay?
What are we talking about?
Hey, Jobster, hold on just a minute.
I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but the prices of commodities are set by the market, right? They're not set by this racketeering thing like you're talking about. Otherwise, you want states like Hong Kong, and they are able to thrive.
You are talking about today's standard. No, hold on. You guys are talking about today's standards, not 300 years into the future now, when the price of everything and who gets to say what. If you wrap a big ass wall around it and you have your own military, your own everything, your own government and all that, they're just like any of the governments out here. You know what I mean? Like, you don't think they're going to put sanctions against you? You don't think that they're not going to fucking say that, you know, your crude oil, let's say, I know then they won't be using crude oil, but for reference, that it's going to be $400 a barrel instead of I'm paying $60 a barrel. They definitely could do that to you. The possibility is there.
But nobody's gonna buy $400 for a barrel.
Joby, you are so late. You're even later than me coming into this.
300 years in the future is sort of irrelevant. Commodities are traded at market value. You know, it doesn't matter if he's...
Yes, in a free and open market society. This is not a free and open market society. This is
yes, it is.
Like the way that...
He's interfacing with the world market, isn't he?
Everything's owned by
No, he's
Israel
not
at the point.
interfacing with the world market. He's facing
Of
with
course
the
he
world.
is. Where's he going to buy the food from?
The United States, the country that I'm in.
He's
There you go.
Jared barred himself off from most of the world.
You
Well,
know,
there's so
the
many people
United
that come
States.
in and out of this city. It's not a free market.
You are interfacing with whoever owns the land around your enclave, because no one gets
That's
to
not
go to your
true.
enclave. Sorry, if I own the
He's
land,
saying
that's not-
he's buying commodities on the world market, right?
Am I not allowed to do that?
Limitation on the enclave. Why can't he do
So
that?
no.
He's saying that this is allowed in this scenario.
When you get into a city,
Literally just contradicted himself like a half hour before.
how's he going to get to? How's he going to get in there?
You haven't explained why I can't buy food, and you're saying because no one will let me buy it. That's your excuse.
No, people will let you buy it, but they'll set the price.
They don't do that now.
Secondly, if I buy all the land, you're missing the point. If I buy all the land around your enclave, how are you going to get the food to your enclave without going through me first?
Well, how do
United
landlocked
States
countries
roads.
get their food, Pato? You get
Pardon?
it shipped in.
Have you heard
It's
of a
my
road?
land. You can't ship over my
Have you
land
heard of a
without my
road?
say-so.
Have you heard of roads before?
Why is the United States going to build a road to your
It already
enclave?
exists.
With Virgin-
Well,
I'll buy the
the
virgin
roads
land.
exist
I'll buy
already.
the virgin land that you're going to buy just as easily around your enclave as you bought for your enclave. How's that sound?
I'll buy it first.
No, you won't.
You don't know where I'm buying it.
This is a stupid argument.
He's just trying to get me in a gotcha question.
No, your whole theory here is really contradictory and it collapses on itself.
Okay.
The moment you say people can't own property.
Oh, that's what got you?
Only going to be
The landlords?
people who come in and out.
That's not going to stop
Well-
them from buying food that's not grown there, VD.
A lot of it
Those are his
stopped
words,
it
dude.
when you wouldn't turn at least one of your buildings into a high-rise, basically farming facility. Like, it's not going to hurt you. It's going to help clean the water. You're going to be able to use your wastewater. It's going to cool your city off. It's going to add oxygen, color, food, all kinds of things. I could name all kinds of things that it would benefit the city. And you're like, no, I'm just going to buy it from this distributor. And
Do you want to know
that,
why?
I would think would limit you.
It's because the sunlight is free. Electricity is not. If you're vertical farming, you use electricity.
No, you don't need to.
Don't help him, Savage. Let him hang
right.
himself on this stupid idea.
You're just mad because there's no landlords vertical?
That's a ridiculous notion.
No landlords is a ridiculous notion.
There's no landlords. No one can own anything. No one's going to actually upkeep anything. It's just all going to be taxed somehow. This is a ridiculous system.
The
And there's a
taxes
reason
are
why
much,
no one-
much lower.
I find it astounding that you want to build this little world where you can set your own rules completely separate from the rest of the United States. The United States is going to be completely happy with you doing this, yeah, and at the same time you haven't even thought through, and all the self-sustainability you haven't thought about food. It's absolutely ridiculous.
Have you heard of special economic zones in China?
That's a bad
Yeah, let him keep hanging
representation.
himself. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay. All right.
So a special economic zone is a city that has laws that are separate from the rest of the country in order to experiment with taxation, regulation, and other components of society.
Who sanctioned those special zones?
Deng Xiaoping.
Yeah, did the city sanction those things against the will of the nation that surrounds them?
Why would they not? I have the Declaration of Independence as well.
There you go. See that, and how's that going to pan out? The government of the United States.
Well, it's their founding document.
Right. So they're just going to go, yeah, just build a city, just build a city there, yeah, and just enclose yourself in it. It's fine.
If I solve the problems that they're having right now, why would they not allow it?
Why would they not allow a load of people to declare themselves sovereignly in every sense independent from the United States in the middle of the United States? Yeah, they'll be fine with that, won't they?
That's the same thing that Texas says. Why won't we allow Texas just to leave our country and become their own? Because that's what they want to do.
I think that's a good idea.
Why isn't that okay?
I think it's a good idea.
Why? How?
How? Because you're free from the bonds of someone that you disagree with. You can experiment. You don't think experimentation is a good thing? You don't think having control
that isn't even it.
Having control of your own destiny?
Then you don't get to use our Constitution, our Bill of Rights. You don't get any of our support.
There's no copyright.
Get any of it.
There's no copyright.
No, you have to make up your own. You don't get to make one identical to ours. You would have to make up your own, and then that would make you your own country in your city. That's the only reason they haven't allowed it to happen, because as ballsy as Texas thinks they are, and as much money as they think they have, they know better at the end of the day that shit will not fly. They will be out there on a desert by themselves. You know how California grows a lot of our food and the Midwest does? There's a reason that they don't do it in Texas, because the fucking ground is shit. So they would be screwed.
Vertical, they can leave.
You keep changing your city. What can I say?
No, I said there's an immigration system.
Not what you described 2 hours ago.
There's an immigration system.
There's customs, there's an immigration system, there's a cap at how many people can be in there, 144,000. Not a single one additional to that. I mean, it's ridiculous.
I said they could leave. I never said they can't leave.
No, you said they couldn't leave.
I disagree with that statement.
Okay, well, if you're changing it, you can keep changing it. But the fact that you keep changing just shows that you're not serious about this.
Okay. Well, it's a fun thought exercise, isn't it?
No.
Not really. I left.
Well, I'll disagree
so
with
boring.
him. I do think that it is a fun exercise. I just think that you need to be more open when, people want to include ideas in what it would take to form a city like this and make it operate and work harmoniously, if that's the right way to say it. One person does not come up with all the ideas and all the facets that it would take to operate a city of 144,000. Just because we elect a mayor doesn't mean that mayor started from scratch.
What
Savage,
if he did?
This guy can't. He won't even provide fucking anti-gravity rivers for my regular ass boat.
Hey, you're back.
Okay, the most important thing, are we going to have hoverboards? Because we were promised hoverboards a long time ago that it would happen by the time we got into 2020s, and it's still not fucked for here. Damn.
Yeah, only asshole's got a hoverboard is Tony Hawk. This is bullshit.
And our clothes have to blow dry us off when we get wet. That'd be the shit.
Self-drying
clothes.
Hell yeah. You can just get fabric. You can just get fabric that repels water, so it can't get wet.
Nah, I sweat too much. I want something that fucking air dries my ball sack.
We can make that
pants
happen.
With a little built-in fan.
Hell yeah. It is a fun thought experiment, so I do appreciate you coming in. Even though I was late to this show, I'd have been more in your ass about it. But it is a fun experiment. It's definitely at least a change of pace from talking about all the shit that's been talked about in here lately with the trans situation and fucking people shooting schools up and all the dumb shit, Donald fuck-ass Trump and all the rest of it. So I appreciate you.
Yeah, it's a bit of fun.
Well, these are the kind of conversations that you can toss around a little bit, you know. But I gotta say, Savage, I don't think you've thought this pants thing through, because you get like a little ball sack fan on the go. That every time, you know, every 30 minutes or so, you're gonna have a little fan kicking and going whirring, making noise. People are like,
I ain't
what's that?
having
Like, I'm sorry,
no fan
my
near
ball sack is
No.
fucking dripping right now. Like it's
I
not
ain't
gonna be
having
good.
no fan near my ball sack. No.
How you expect to keep that shit ventilated without a fan? That's like trying to fucking launch a rocket without a vacuum. It can't be done.
I know it. I know. We're gonna have to figure this out.
That's easy. NASA's already solved this problem. They have those space suits that have, like, you know, airflow in them.
Ooh, Shell's been on it? NASA, what'd you do to fix this?
Not
you,
that.
Look,
Yeah,
are
I
you
know.
gonna, are you gonna
I know.
trust a guy named Penis with your pants? I don't think so.
Well, back to our make-believe
Yeah.
city in
Yeah, I have to
Mr.
agree
Rogers' world here.
I have to agree with GCHQ. You guys just assumed that my city would be under siege.
It would
No.
be under. Well, not
How
not,
you
no,
described your city.
I don't think it'll be under siege. I just think the possibility that it can happen. People are
But
fucking
Savage,
greedy as shit.
how have you determined that it's going to be over siege then?
Well, he said that the police and military are free market. Well, at least you said the police would be. So
Military too.
he's just gonna have. I'm sorry. You said the
The
military.
military is
also?
like a mercenary type situation, yeah.
Yeah. See, you're gonna have to hire me to be your mercenary. You know what I mean? I'll stand on your walls. Fuck it.
Okay, no. Free market law and order. You're a nutcase.
That's right. I don't know how you're making bullets or nothing if nobody's working in this fucker, but you know.
We'll have an
let's do
ammunition
it.
factory inside the city.
We'll tax the ammunition factory, guys. It makes sense.
Yeah,
we would
where
actually.
get the
Yeah.
lead from and the brass. Yeah, I thought we were into like laser guns
Let's
now.
let's
by
take
now.
$80 away from the people who we all gave free money to.
Yeah, let's give them a UBI and then charge them $80 a month for their first kid.
One thing
We'll see. Okay.
As I say, you can describe what you can describe the way we talked about how the outside world will react to your cities, how you like, and call it medieval sieges, yeah. But in terms of what's going on in your city and what's going on outside your city, you take out one parameter out of all your spreadsheets, and it's basic human nature.
Yeah,
I'll leave it there.
He said
Incredibly
medieval.
naive.
They're gonna start throwing fucking dead bodies all over the wall, just like they used to.
We let me out. We don't even have a
Catapult
fucking
these
floating
fuckers
river.
in. Yeah, right.
Is
They
this
don't need their trebuchet. They won't need their trebuchet to fuck you over on the outside. Trust me.
The hoverboards were a lie.
is this how you treat every reform movement?
Only the ridiculous ones that are like,
Siege their castle and kill them? That's like
Well,
Waco
I
times
mean-
100.
No way, I'm an opportunist too.
How does Waco? How does
It's a
Waco?
free
how do the
market. What do you mean?
How do the outside world react to Waco? Do you remember?
They're still upset about it. Ask any Republican. half the Democrats.
What? Lewis, are you upset about Waco? Because you and Savage were basically trying to recreate it an hour ago.
What? How is Lewis trying to read?
They were talking about having kids and just using the kids to get more UBI money, sending them into his city.
Oh, goodness.
Sex cult, David Koresh.
Yeah, no, I get you. I mean, Lewis would love to be able to be in a sex cult, I'm sure.
I asked Lewis for proof that he could have children, so he's going to work on that.
Yeah, he left right after that.
Savage, are you going to accept Lewis as one of your concubines?
Oh.
Hell yeah.
Aww.
Opportunist.
Wouldn't the world be
That's
more
what I
interesting?
said earlier. I'm like, polygamy, let's do this.
Wouldn't the world be more interesting if this was allowed to happen, though?
I mean,
I don't know.
aren't they trying it? Aren't they trying it in Saudi Arabia right now? Like, isn't that
Yeah,
basically
but-
just describing the line?
Who said that? I'll send you the video.
The Line City in Saudi Arabia. That's what he's referring to.
Yeah, I was gonna send.
Yeah,
it's
Saudi
very
Arabia.
different if you see the city.
Dubai, not Saudi Arabia.
Well, the construction of your city versus somebody else's is only just the architectural part of it. So, unless you're talking about the full layout of how the government works and how the people work and all the guidelines and rules and regulations that you allow, short of that, I mean, it's still basically the same thing, exception that yours has a wall wrapped around it. Or does it?
Well, the positioning of the buildings matter too. Like the Line versus New York City fundamentally results in a different lifestyle.
Well, I mean, come on now. Realistically, if New York City could fucking do it over again, they would do something different. You know what I mean? So you're taking an ancient city, kind of, and saying that that model will work for what you're doing, and I don't see how that would work, seeing how you definitely would do it a lot different. Fuck, as soon as we crossed over the Mississippi, we started building our cities much better, much, grid pattern, laying the streets out nice and straight, instead of the way I get that New York is straight for the most part roads. It's more the fact that if you had the opportunity to do what you're talking about, you're not going to go into a city, wrap a wall around it, and then have to start tearing shit down to make what you need. You're going to go get a clean piece of property and then throw this thing up, because then you can have better and tighter tolerances on how you're going to manipulate your city to be built.
Okay. I just think the world would be a better place if we had more experimentation. You even admitted that you're bored of the stupid conversations that you have in here.
No, I just said that it was better than
we
what we
have we have had this sort of conversation in here many
Yeah.
times.
Yeah.
Like, this is not new. You're not saying anything new. You're just saying a slightly stupider version of it. That's all.
And
We're both
I
Yang
will say,
supporters.
to
What are you
answer
talking
your
about?
to answer your question, yeah, we do need to try different things. So,
We do.
like the Line and stuff like that, where people are trying these social experiments where they're group living in big sets of groups to see if they can make it, more easier on the group and see how that works out. Or just like with cars, making them electric or hydrogen, or farming where, they, instead of planting them all straight in a line like they do in Indiana, you do it like they do out in California, where it's circles. The only thing that I would change difference is that I would make the center of my field lower than the outside edge, So when I put the water on the ground, it wants to funnel itself at all times towards the middle. And those things actually yield better product and stronger crops because of doing that versus just growing them out like we do in the Midwest. So doing those type of changes and trying them, whether they fail or not, is definitely a win, and that's the only way that we move forward. I would never stop progression unless it is going to be something that is going to hurt people. And of course, we know that sometimes people do get hurt by trying new things. It's kind of like, what was the one joke? There's a comedian that says it, that the human population is like a train. In the locomotive are all your engineers, scientists, all doctors, all the people that really make the world a better place and innovative. And then everybody else is in all the rest of the cars. And then you got the engineers sitting back there saying, if we just pulled this pin out, we would be moving a lot faster, which means that they would just let us stand still and fade away so that, they could keep doing what they're doing.
But the UBI is the opposite of that.
Really need to change that name. Whatever that acronym is, that's crazy. That is way too close to the women's birth control thing that they do.
Who, me?
Yeah.
What acronym?
What did you say that the city is? UBI?
Oh, that's Universal Basic Income. It's a policy.
Right. And I was just saying that you keep saying that, and it's so close to, what is it, UTI?
The Freedom Dividend is the alternative name.
Gang, gang!
Yep, represent! Tulsi Gabbard's pretty sweet, too. What do you think about her?
She's atrocious.
What?
Atrocious.
In what way?
You're not a Margie Taylor Greene fan, are you?
She makes me laugh.
You can't like it.
I don't hate her.
You can't like Andrew Yang and like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Those two things, no.
I know, I'm not
I'm
talking
a troll.
to you, Zant.
Zant, come on.
I like everyone. Except for, the New World Order people. I don't really like them. Or Marxists. I'm just enjoying my time here at Clown World. So I like a lot of people. I
think that just means you're in favor of old world chaos, and I think that sounds terrifying, so you should stop it.
What do you mean old world chaos? Like the feudalism?
If you're against New World Order, then you must be for old world chaos, and I don't like that. Stop it.
It wasn't that chaotic, though.
No, I think it was.
What is this conversation about?
The New World Order.
He's against the New World Order. I think that makes him for old world chaos, and as far as I know, in the old world, people regularly shit themselves to death. I don't think that sounds good to me.
Well,
I don't
how
like
far
that.
back are we talking?
I don't care how far. Any length back, it all sounds bad. We're doing good right now. We don't want to go backwards. No, it's not doing.
There's several places I would like to go backwards.
1980 was the golden age.
I would like to bring China back to Mao and Russia back to the Soviet Union.
What places are going backwards, Red Tape?
I said I would like.
Oh, you would like.
Okay. He would like to. But I mean, he's a Marxist furry. That's his default position. Okay.
Wait, why do you want to go back to Mao? I thought you said Mao was a criminal who genocided a lot of people.
I didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
But he did.
What did you say about Mao?
No, he didn't.
I heard 1 million. That was the number I heard.
Nah.
So you're
And then-
pro Mao.
Strong
Mao
argument.
pretty big.
Strong
You'd love
argument.
to live under the Mao regime.